Alright, so I've got some good news, I've got some bad news, we're gonna get into all of it in a second, but first, let's just recap this situation. A video gets posted to Twitter of a protest happening after a school board meeting where basically there was a proposal to introduce something LGBT related to the school, and it was protested by some parents, and I don't know what happened, but basically some violence took place there, which led to sort of this viral video that got posted. A popular gamer, streamer, YouTuber, Nickmercs responded by saying, "They should leave little children alone, that's the real issue." And myself and many other people completely agree with Nickmercs that this is a real issue. In my last video, I brought up some examples of how kids are able to check out books in the school library in some schools, and these books contain literally sexually explicit imagery. It's porn. So the idea is that we don't want public schools to just be exposing children to sexual content. And a lot of this sexual content, for some reason, is able to be exposed to kids because it's done so under the guise of it being LGBT acceptant. This book, called The Gender Queer, which I guess queer LGBT, right? There's a debate as to whether or not it's appropriate to have in classrooms because of its explicit images of oral. We don't support that. We don't believe that it's good, productive, or that it instills any good values into kids. It is degenerate material that does not belong anywhere near kids, let alone in a freaking classroom. So Nickmercs made the point they should just leave children alone, okay? Now, long story short, he got canceled for this tweet. He lost a brand deal that he had with Call of Duty, where he had a bundle that you could purchase in the Call of Duty shop that Activision decided to remove. They tweeted, "Due to recent events, we have removed the Nickmercs operator bundle from the Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone store. We are focused on celebrating Pride with our employees and our community." Alright, how about you celebrate these nuts? Nobody supports your decision. Your decision was horrible. This guy voiced his opinion basically saying that kids shouldn't be exposed to sexual content, and you removed his Call of Duty bundle. Like, why? So that's basically what happened. Since then, there's a few updates that I'd like to share with you. Starting with the bad news, it doesn't look like Call of Duty is going back on their decision, at least yet. They haven't said like, oh, you know, we've heard feedback from the community and we've actually changed our mind. We're putting the Nickmercs operator bundle back in the shop, effective immediately. It seems like, at least as of right now, that they're not going back on their decision. The other bad news, and I don't really consider this bad news, is just some of the reply to this is just absolutely outrageous. I only say that it's not bad news because, like, this always happens. You kind of have to expect it at this point. But, you know, you have these dishonest tabloids on Twitter basically saying, like, oh, if you support Nickmercs, you're homophobic, and that sort of stuff. This tweet reads, "I stand with Nickmercs. Call of Duty has gone woke. Activision will not get my money again." Basically saying that, like, if you say these quotes, you look like, I don't know, like a middle-aged white dad Trump supporter. It's so funny because these people can't even criticize properly. Nobody in this picture with like the MAGA hat would even know who Nickmercs is. They don't play Call of Duty, they own real guns. These people are Second Amendment people who actually have like assault rifles. Someone responded to the clip of Dr. Disrespect uninstalling Call of Duty in support of Nickmercs by saying, for context, he called gay people pedophiles. And for even greater context, your dad left when you were young because that's not what happened. All he said was they should leave little children alone, referring to those trying to push sexual content in front of children. Maybe those people did actually happen to be gay pedophiles. And if they are, well, then maybe Nickmercs should use his Call of Duty skills on them in real life. I don't support pedophiles. That's not something that I do. So that's the bad news, right? Activision sort of just staying silent and sort of keeping their decision as permanent, and Twitter just being Twitter, right? Here's the good news. The good news is, I guess, the gay pedophiles, or whatever that guy was talking about, are taking an L! Because since the removal of the Nickmercs bundle, there's been a large amount of support from other big names in gaming, basically saying, alright, yo, cut it out with this whack-ass behavior. You are punishing a man for speaking nothing but pure 100% facts on the Twitter timeline. Starting first, we have FaZe Rain, who came forward and said, nah, that's up. And somebody who I think is a pretty big streamer, Tim the Tatman, said this on stream first, kind of being unsure on how he felt on the matter, but then surprised us with his take after this clip.
A lot of you saw what happened with Nick yesterday. So I'm gonna just say this at the front, man. I love Nick. I talked to him for about 30 minutes last night. I know him, bro. And I truly do not think he meant to hurt anyone with what he said. It really, all I can say is this, man. Tatman Army, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. All right. We talked for a while last night, and he's doing all right. But that's all I can really say on it, man. That's all I'm really going to say on it.
As you can see in the clip, he's sort of fence riding. He's not really saying, yo, what they did to Nickmercs was wrong, and I need to say something about it. He's just like, yeah, you know, like I talked to him last night. That's all I can really say. And I can't lie, when I first saw this clip, I was disappointed. I was like, wow, this is just lame fence rider, centrist, you know, lukewarm, I don't really have an opinion sort of thing. Especially because this guy's your friend. If you're calling him on the phone to talk about this stuff, like, you must be buddies to some extent. And to not stick your, neck out for your friend seemed a little whack and spineless. Well, I took that all back after seeing this tweet from Tim the Tatman, which honestly I think is a banger. He says, @Nickmercs has been my friend for years. We went in getting our COD operators together. It feels wrong for me to have mine and him no longer have his. In support of my friend, please remove the Tim the Tatman bundle at Call of Duty. That's what I'm talking about, bro. I love this energy, this loyalty, this fraternity, this brotherhood. Like, we're in it together, man. You know, if my friends aren't gonna be this loyal, then I don't want them, bro. This is what I'm talking about. Saying, if you wanna mess with my friend, you're messing with me too. And, dude, that's just cold. So at this point, the ball is in Activision's court. Are they going to triple down on this stance of being anti-Nickmercs and actually remove Tim the Tatman's bundle now? Or will they hopefully crack under this pressure and put Nickmercs bundle back in the store to sort of calm down this backlash? Trainwrecks TV, who I believe is the owner of Kick.com, the streaming platform, and a big streamer himself, says, F cancel culture. If the part of the internet that's going after mercs were the good guys, they'd teach and be patient even if their teachings are being questioned. The vocal minority who pretend that they are fighting for equality are just virtue signaling for clout. What they're doing here with this situation only sends people further down the rabbit hole and divides by putting people into an angry state void of logic and understanding. Political leaders and viewers coming after him know this and use these movements for their own gain, power, and advertisement. And I completely agree with this. Do you think punishing Nickmercs for his statement actually is going to make him rethink his statement? It's not like his bundle gets removed from the shop and then he instantly is like, oh, wait a second, everything I believe and the logic that backs those things that I believe actually do not make any sense, and I'm stupid. It is the same thing with deplatforming. If somebody says something that you disagree with, deplatforming them doesn't do anything to those ideas. When you cut off a man's tongue, you're not proving him wrong, you're only proving that you are scared of what he might say. Now, there are two more things that I would like to go over. One of them is good news, one of them is bad news. The good news is that right now there is almost kind of a mini boycott going on where people are uninstalling Call of Duty on their device. Now, I believe this was started by Dr. Disrespect, but it looks like Call of Duty is getting a little bit of like the Bud Light treatment, the Target treatment. There's like a boycott sort of thing going on where people are recording videos of themselves uninstalling Call of Duty on their device and posting it to Twitter.
So there you go.
And you can hear a kid in the background of that video. Maybe this gamer is a father who completely agrees with Nickmercs that maybe he wouldn't want his daughter or son to be exposed to sexual content. But yeah, people are protesting by posting videos of this. Or just not posting this at all, kind of silently protesting, because at this point, it's not really even about Nickmercs. It is about standing up for your values and not bowing to cancel culture, canceling cancel culture, literally. Oh, they're trying to cancel Nickmercs? Okay, delete your game, bye. This is also pretty cool. Rumble tweeted that they stand with Nickmercs. This is a big platform publicly saying, Nickmercs, we support you. So the way that I see it is Activision has three options here. They can add the Nickmercs bundle back into the shop, they can remove both the Nickmercs bundle and the Tim the Tatman bundle, or they can just stay silent and leave things as they are. But on the topic of cancel culture, the people who are anti-Nickmercs are going to some really disgusting lengths to prove a point that Nickmercs is a bad person and he's a bigot it by, get this, bringing up tweets from back in 2013. Like, dude, you've gotta be a total loser bum in order to do that. Bro's going all the way back to the time period when What Does the Fox Say came out in order to prove a point. Like, dude, you're pathetic. And by the way, it's not even like these tweets are even that damning. Like, you went fishing so far back to look for something on this guy, and the best you could find was like this mid-tweet. All black people getting mad, shut the F up like you give an S. Like, bro, if you're gonna go this far back in time, if you don't return with gold, your trip was a waste. This tweet is absolutely, it doesn't do anything. Like, nobody got exposed. This response may be the worst thing I've ever read. For the "it's been 10 years people," notice that he is still telling minority social groups how to feel about their own experiences. Bro, okay, there's a difference between talking about black people and talking about pedophiles. Yes, both of them are minority groups, but I'd say one of them is probably worse. I don't know, man. I feel like the majority of this discourse is like kind of mind-numbing. I really do feel like the people that are against Nickmercs are failing to make coherent points at every single turn. But yeah, it's a bit exhausting, so I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. I'll be reading some of them. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Follow my social medias, links are all down below, and comment down bagel if you made it to the end of the video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.